restart. What it do? What it do? It's your boy Self-Conscious, and I'm back with another video. Y'all already know what time it is. Trump rally since the incident in Wisconsin, man. Look at here. I'm about to play this video, man. I think y'all need to tap in. Make sure you voting for Trump November the 5th, man. I also tagged some Donald Trump hats to this live video. So if we want to support Donald Trump, if you want to support his campaign, you can buy some of the hats. They convenient. I think the highest one is like $7. The cheapest one is like $5 or something, which is convenient, man. We doing it for Trump, man. We got to get Trump back in office. Joe Biden got to go. Bottom line, I had to restart the video, man, because I didn't want to get hit with copyrights or whatever. And y'all guys got to understand, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm working hard, you know what I'm saying, to bring y'all this good content, man. Y'all got to support me, man. Y'all got to support the platform. I mean, I'm putting in a whole lot of work, and y'all got to show y'all appreciation. And you know what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line. I'm going to keep it a bean with you. I ain't even going to hold you. Let's get into the video.
Stage, he's actually humiliating us. You saw what happened this weekend. It's turning the United States into a total joke all over the world. First, he wandered off the G7 in Europe. The stage, he looked like he didn't know where the hell he was, but he didn't know where he was. He's blaming it now on AI. He's saying he doesn't know what AI is, but that's okay. Now they're saying the media is manipulating. Oh, he's saying the media is manipulating. Now, on that one, I have to stick up for the media. I have to tell you. He said the media is manipulating the pictures of him constantly not knowing where the hell he is. They're doing just the opposite. They're making him look better. At the G7 in Europe, and he had to be rescued by other world leaders. They had to pull him back. Then he bizarrely put his face on the Pope's forehead. What was that all about? That was weird. Vivek is here. That was weird, Vivek. I don't know. Did you see the Pope? The Pope is like, what's happening? The Pope didn't really know what was happening. He said, this is strange. Then he froze during the celebration on the White House lawn. Then Barack Hussein Obama had to grab his hand and lead him off the stage as though he were a child. I have to tell you, Obama could have handled that differently. He could have done it a little bit softer. He could have done it like, let's go. Come. He didn't have to grab him and pull him off the stage, but he looked good, and I guess that was his primary purpose. He wanted to look good. He could have done a better job. In fact, the Biden people were very upset about that whole incident, but yet to be discussed. But Crooked Joe and his handlers are insisting he's sharper than ever, and they say the videos of Crooked Joe shuffling around are clean fakes. You know what a clean fake is? They're deceptively edited. They say they're deceptively edited. All of the mistakes that he's made every day. He can't go anywhere without a mistake. Now, if I'm perfect, they say he made a mistake. He did perfect. And I don't say clean fakes, although they do. They do that. They do that. They're the fake news. Look how many you have out there. They're all over the place. But with me, they take a good speech and they make it look as bad as possible. With him, they take the worst speech you've ever heard and they try and make him look like semi-normal. These are shameless liars who are trying to deceive you about other people, the people that represent Biden. They're shameless liars. They're the Russia people, the laptop from hell people, the 51 intelligence agent people. They're the people that said all sorts of lies about military, about our great military. They make up stories about our military. It's disgraceful what they can do, and they're so destructive to our country. They're the people that really destroy everything that they touch. That's why this November, the people of Wisconsin are going to tell Crooked Joe Biden, remember The Apprentice, you're fired. Get out. You've done a horrible job. You've done a horrible job. Worst president in history. Get out. You're fired. Get out. We can't get him out fast enough. I'm worried about the next 5 months. We could end up in World War III with this person. He's the worst president ever. The Biden administration has been nonstop catastrophe. He has been a catastrophe. It's been a nonstop catastrophe, but one of Crooked Joe's most destructive moves yet is the lawless executive action he is taking today. You've been reading in the middle of the largest border invasion in world history. There's never been a border in the world that's like this border that we have, where probably 17, 18 million people by now have entered our country illegally. Joe Biden's granting mass, he's going to formally grant a mass amnesty to millions of illegal aliens that came into our country. And you have people that have been working for 10 years to try and come in legally, and they just keep working. Under this program, a deluge of illegals will be given immediate green cards and put on the fast track to rapid citizenship so they can vote. I think a lot of them are going to vote for me. You want to know the truth? Because if you look at the Hispanic population, if you look at the black population, they're voting for Trump. They're voting for Trump. You, look at you. Thank you. I like that person right there. But they give them they give them welfare, they give them free health care, food stamps. Chain migration, one of the catastrophic things, one of the many catastrophic things that we're confronted with when they come in. Crooked Joe is sending a message to the world that he rewards illegal entry, and that's what's happening. They hear about all of the things that are coming in, and don't kid yourself, the ones that are hurt the most, the black population, the Hispanic population, and you know what else? Who else is hurt badly? Unions. Because unions are not able to compete with this. This is a mass entry into our country, and the unions are getting absolutely killed by it. All an illegal alien has to do is sign up for his new program. It's a sham marriage or college degree. Think of this. And they can expect amnesty and taxpayer support. They want to get taxpayer support. We are supporting people that come in illegally, but our soldiers, our veterans, are dying on the streets of these horribly run Democrat cities. Our country is under invasion. We should not be talking amnesty. We should be talking about stopping the invasion instead. This is an invasion of our country. We have to seal the border. We have to let people come into our country, but they have to come in legally. We have to send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home where they belong. We have no choice. We have no choice. Don't forget, all over the world, the prisons, the jails, the mental institutions, the insane asylums, they're all being emptied out. And I don't blame them. I know the leaders. I know so many of the leaders. I had to deal with them. I dealt with them very nicely. I said, you don't behave, we're not going to give you any of the money. We pay them so much money and they do nothing. Get stolen all over the place. But I had a lot of things. We wanted to bring them back. They wouldn't let them come back. I was told that for years Obama couldn't get anybody out. We suffered with MS-13 by the thousands and thousands that killed people, that cut up. 2 young girls cut up in Long Island, cut up to pieces and died by MS-13 monsters, and we couldn't get them out of our country. And I came back and I said, why? They said they won't take them back. Honduras, you take a look at Honduras, and any one of the Mexico to a certain extent, Mexico a little bit less, but we have countries all over South America, countries all over the world that wouldn't take them back. But in the case of the 4 countries, I said, here's what we do. El Salvador is an example, very tough, smart, good leader. But I would have been more advanced than him. I would have had the jails completely empty instead of almost empty. You know, if you take a look at Venezuela, you see what's happening there. 72% down in crime because they've taken their gangs, their drug dealers, also their prisoners. And where have they brought them? To the United States of America. Thank you very much. No. Who can believe that they allowed this to happen to our country? Now, who can believe that they would do this to our country? Now, Joe Biden doesn't have a clue. Now, we're going to watch. Is anybody going to watch the debate? He's going to be so pumped up. He's going to be pumped up. You know all that stuff that was missing about a month ago from the White House? What happened? Who left it? Somebody left it there. I wonder, let's see, somebody left a laptop in an office of a gentleman who was supposed to fix the laptop from hell. He never picked it up, and somebody didn't pick up hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cocaine. I wonder who that could have been. I don't know. Actually, I think it was Joe. You're one of those. But Crooked Joe's action today is an illegal, unconstitutional amnesty without approval from Congress, no approval from the courts or the American people, but he never does that. He did that with the tuition, and that didn't work out too well. He got rebuked, and then he did it again. It's going to get rebuked again, even more so. It's an even more vile attack. But he did that with tuition just to get the publicity for the election. He doesn't care about that. He just wants to see if he can get it by the election. Like with all my stuff, they get these people from all over, go after Trump. They never did this before. This is like third world country stuff. Go after Trump. But he did nothing wrong. That doesn't matter. Just go after him. Go after him. And we don't care what happens after the election. Just do it. Mess it up. No country has ever done this outside of a few third world horrible banana republics. Very rarely done. This Biden amnesty is a direct attack on American democracy, and yet another example is how Biden and his communists are demolishing our constitutional system and replacing it with a corrupt and fascist regime. These are fascists. These are bad people. And I don't think he's calling the shots. I'll be honest. I think he's not. I'm talking to you like a small little gathering of, 20,000 people. But I don't think he's calling the shots. I really don't. I almost sound, when I talk about, Alphonse Capone was indicted less than Trump. I'd never heard the word indictment, and then all of a sudden, that's coming from all different angles at me, all caused by Biden and his thugs. But is that going to happen? It's interesting because we're doing better now than we've ever done because people know it's a scam. It's a big scam. And the Biden betrayal is not going to stand. When I'm reelected, Joe Biden's illegal amnesty plan will be ripped up and thrown out on the very first day that we're back in office. Because he's just using that group. But he's going to let everybody come in because you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to sign these people up and register them. They're not citizens. They're not allowed to do it. It's illegal as hell. We're filing court cases all over the place, including here, but we're filing court. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to use all of these people that are pouring into our country to vote. What other reason? Look, it's either they're stupid, they're not stupid. He is, but they're not stupid. The people that surround him, his leaders, his leaders aren't stupid. You can't cheat that well at an election and be stupid, okay? But, so you say they're either stupid or they hate our country, or the third thing is they want to sign people up to vote. And that's what they're doing right now. They're signing people up to vote. The people don't even know where they are. And they're getting them cards to vote. They're trying to register them to vote. And we're in courts all over the place, and we're going to get it stopped, and we're not going to let what they did 4 years ago happen again. Our country is being destroyed. Joe Biden wants to be the president for illegal aliens, but I will be the president for law-abiding Americans, every background, every walk of life, every race, religion, color, and creed. I'll be the president.
I think we're in an Airheads commercial. Want to skip it?
Thank you very much. Crooked Joe's mass amnesty comes in the wake of a series of horrific murders by, I call them the Biden illegals. They come in here so illegally. They just walk across, not vetted, not checked. All over the world they're coming from. The Congo and Africa, 22 people coming out of jails recently. And where are you from? The Congo. Where did you live? In a jail. What did you do? We don't want to say. But they come from Africa, from Asia. They come from the Middle East. They come from South America, but they come from all over the world. And they're really in many cases, very, very bad people. The only good thing is they make our gang members look like nice people by comparison. You know the good thing about Biden's administration, right? He makes Jimmy Carter look like a genius by comparison. Jimmy Carter's administration looked brilliant by comparison. In all fairness, he wasn't doing things like this. He wasn't allowing 17, 18 million people to walk into our country unchecked, unvetted. We have no idea who the hell they are. Day after day, week after week, more Americans are raped, kidnapped, and brutally killed at the hands of criminals. And Joe Biden released them into our country. He released them all. We had, by the way, 4 years ago, I wish they could put it up on the screen, we had the strongest border in the history of our country. Now we have the weakest border in the history of the world. In the history of the world. Oh, there it is. Take a look. That costs a little money to bring that sucker up here. You know, that's... But take a look at that. You see the red arrow on the bottom? That was the week I left office. What a sad day that was for the country. But that was the week I left office. See the red arrow on the bottom? That's the only one you have to even look at. That was the last week in office for Trump. Look at the number. That was the lowest number in the history of our country of illegals coming in. But you can also add drugs and other things, okay? But look at that number. And that was done by Border Patrol. Look at that number. And then look what happens as soon as I leave. Look at the numbers on the right. That's the largest influx of people ever to come to any country. There's never been anything like this. And we don't know where they come from, who they are. We don't have any records. There's no way to check it. You know, they come from some country that nobody ever heard of. They don't keep records, and we don't get their records, and we don't know what we're taking in. But you know one thing. You remember the snake. It's not going to be good, right? It's not going to be good. When you let in a snake, when you let in people that come out of prisons for murder, it's not going to end well. We're going to have a lot of problems, and we're going to get them out. We're going to get them out as fast as we can. We're going to have the largest deportation. We have no choice. Just last week, another Biden migrant was arrested for the savage murder of an innocent American woman. You probably all read about it. In Maryland, Rachel Morin, 37 years old, mother of 5, beautiful woman, nice woman, everybody loved her. Police believe that this animal was responsible for Rachel's killing, first murdered another young woman in El Salvador, came from El Salvador, murdered a woman, at least one, then fled across this Joe Biden open border. Just come on in, everybody. We won't even check your name. He came into the United States, after which he savagely attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother in a home invasion in Los Angeles in an area that was supposed to be safe. And finally, he's charged with raping and murdering Rachel when she was out for a run. She was running, wanted to keep herself in shape before dumping her body into a drainage ditch. That's how they found her, into a drainage ditch. This monster should never have been allowed into our country, and if I was president, he would never have been able to come in. He would have never been able to come in. You see those numbers. Thank you very much. Just like the killer, and you've read about this too, Laken Riley, beautiful Laken Riley, would have never been in our country. Laken was the top of her class. She wanted to be a nurse. She was the top student, the top everything. She was admired by everybody that knew her. And she was murdered by the same kind of a person that came in here under Biden's, nope, there is no policy. They just come in. They just came in. And, you know, I listened to Tom Homan the other day. Tom Homan's great, real pro. He said there's never been an administration so good on the border and so good generally, but he's a border guy. He's a pure, powerful border guy. He said there's never been an administration like Trump. It's the greatest border, the safest border we've ever had. All these murders that are taking place and all the murders that will take place, you're just seeing the beginning. They're just getting comfortable, you know? They're here for a little while. They're not going to start up. They want to find out. They're just getting comfortable. Now they're having fistfights with cops in the middle of the street. Think of that. In the middle of New York City, they have a guy fist fighting with a cop. I've seen cops shot. I've seen a lot of things. But a fist fight, that's really like crazy. and they're duking it out in the middle of a street. And if that happened to him in his country, they would have had him killed immediately. He would have been killed immediately. But here we're very nice. We're politically correct. Also, recently in New York, an illegal alien with mutual and multiple prior arrests approached two 13-year-old children with a machete in broad daylight, forced them into the woods, tied them together by the wrist, and raped the girl at a park in Queens. I grew up in Queens. When I'm reelected, we will begin removing these criminals, these horrible people from our midst, and we'll end up doing it immediately. We're going to do it immediately.
The federal government is implementing new travel regulations that could harm airline passengers like you.
We don't really, it's not like we have a choice, right? Do we have a choice? We're not going to live like this. You know that area in Queens, I said, that's where I grew up. I grew up right near that area. It was unthinkable. My parents, I'd go to the park. It was like 20 blocks away. I'd take a bicycle and ride there. Nobody thought anything was going to happen. I did that for years. Played baseball and different things in the park. And you'd ride and you'd come back home. Mother would say, hi, darling, would you like something to eat? Today, if you let your kid out of the house for 5 minutes, the kid is gone. You never see it's horrible what's going on. We're not living the proper life. This is not appropriate what's happening. Our country is so badly run. And by the way, Kenosha, I saved Kenosha. Do you know that? When I was president, right? I saved it. Kenosha was about ready to go down the tubes, and the governor wouldn't move. He just wouldn't move, and I moved. I'm not supposed to. It's supposed to be the governor who's supposed to do it, the mayor and the governor. But we did a great job, and we saved a lot of different places, and some here. We saved a lot of places. Joe Biden's amnesty is also a cold-blooded betrayal of American seniors. By the way, did you see Nancy Pelosi? Her daughter did a documentary, Crazy Nancy. No, this happened just a couple of days. They found the documentary. Her daughter, who's a, quote, documentary maker, has a documentary where Nancy Pelosi is saying it's my fault, meaning her fault, not my fault, her fault, that she takes full responsibility for what's happening. That's as the event is happening. You know why? Because she was being honest for the first couple of hours, and I offered them 10,000 soldiers because I knew the crowd was going to be big. But I offered them 10,000 soldiers, and she turned it down. She said, oh, I don't like the look. She turned it down. And the mayor of Washington, D.C., which we're going to redevelop and make beautiful again, because right now it's a crime-ridden capital. But they turned it down. They turned down the stuff. And now the J6 committee, I call it the unselect committee. They're unselect. They're the most unselect. We should have people like you. We should have put Vivek on the committee, right? And our congressman on the committee, right? But the unselect committee of political thugs, the evidence was so bad and so compelling against the Democrats and against the people that are supposed to be doing that job, that they destroyed and deleted all of everything is deleted. Remember, they said I attacked Secret Service agents while I was in the back of a car. And I have friends that say, don't change that story. Man, you sound tough as hell. That's good. These guys are like 30 years old. One is a weightlifter. The other one's a karate top guy or something. I went for the one who was rebuffed. But my hands wrapped around the other one's neck. I would have been in trouble if I did that, I think. But what happened is when Secret Service went in, they totally told the proper story, which was nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. Then she supposedly changed her story. Something went on there. But that's just one of many things. The Pelosi thing is something that is totally on the record. And they've deleted and destroyed all of the records. And they are really disgraceful people. Remember I said peacefully and patriotically, right? Peacefully. They didn't have that in my speech. They put my speech up, but they took phrases out like peacefully and patriotically. And these are very dishonest people. You know, I say we have problems from the outside and problems from within, and I really believe that you have a smart president. I had no problem with China. I had no problem with Russia. I stopped Russia. Russia would have never gone into Ukraine. I stopped their pipeline going into Germany, which Biden immediately approved. The first week that he was there, he approved it. And Putin actually said, you know, they say that you and I are friends. I'd hate to see you as an enemy. You stopped my pipeline. It was stopped. Going to Germany, going all over Europe, and Biden immediately approved it. But he killed our pipeline. The Keystone, he stopped our pipeline. The Keystone XL, 48,000 jobs. He stopped our pipeline. Biden and his party are hell-bent on legalizing every single Biden migrant who has violated our borders, dumping millions of people onto Medicare and Social Security and even Obamacare. By the way, all of these people going onto Social Security, Medicare, Obamacare, whatever you want to call it, it's going to destroy all of them. It's not going to be able, it's not sustainable. They're going to ruin your Social Security. This guy's killing your Social Security. Biden and the Democrats are wheeling Granny off the cliff to give benefits to illegal aliens. They're giving the benefits to the illegals. And you know, a stat that came out the other day is that almost all of the new jobs in this country are going to illegals. They're not going to our people, they're going to illegals. And that's why the black population, Hispanic population, is voting for me at levels that nobody's ever seen before in this country. Because they're not getting the jobs. In fact, they're losing their jobs. As president, I will fight for American seniors like nobody has ever fought before, and we will not be fighting for the Biden illegals, as I call them. I will fight for American workers, not for human traffickers. I will fight for the American dreamers, not the child smugglers and woman smugglers. And I will restore the sovereign borders of the United States of America. So help me God. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, they actually have the best location. People think it's them, but it's not, because nobody sees you on camera. They're on camera for an hour and a half, depending on. And in numerous cases, perhaps they become Hollywood stars. You know, they'll say, who's that person with great star appeal behind Trump? Say, let's see. Got a few of them. You never know. Hey, you never know. What is a star, after all? What is a star? I will also take immediate action to save our economy. Our economy is doing terribly. Inflation has killed our economy. It's a nation buster. On the last day in office, inflation was at less than 1.4%, and as you know, it's now 10. Hey, look, if you take a look at our inflation, our real inflation, they said it was 10 for the last couple of years cumulatively. You take a look at inflation, and if you add different categories, which they don't, I think our inflation is between 40 and 50%. They say it's at 22%. 22% is a lot. That's record setting. But I think you could double it. Let them add the cost of interest. Let them add the cost of trying to buy a house. Nobody can buy a house anymore. The American dream is dead. The money they can't get, the interest rates through the roof. During my term, we had gasoline down to $1.87 a gallon. And by the end, the 30-year mortgage rate was 2.7%. Think of that, and now it's 10%, 11%, 12%, and you can't get the money, so it doesn't make any difference. They can tell you what the rate is, but you can't get the money. Joe Biden inherited the fastest and strongest economic recovery in history. I gave him the greatest economic recovery in history. It's called bounce back. We were all set. We were set. I hated, we had the greatest economy ever in the history of the world. COVID came in, and we did an unbelievable job. And by the time we ended, we gave him the greatest bounce back that anybody's ever had. And guess what? He blew it to shreds. And that's where we are right now. Biden's inflation price hikes and energy destruction have cost the average American family an astonishing $28,000. Think of that, $28,000 And on day one of my new administration, we will throw out Bidenomics and replace it with Maganomics. Maganomics. And it was just announced, you probably heard it, just came as I'm walking up, I say, let me say that. I'm walking up here. It was just announced that the budget deficit is now expected to be almost $2 trillion in 2024. Think of it, $2 trillion. Let's see, 2024, that might not be so good because I take over. They're going to say I have a $2 trillion deficit. I say I didn't do anything. But we'll get it down. $400 billion more than estimated just a few months ago because he's throwing money out the window on the Green New Scam and other things because this student loan program, which it's not even legal. I mean, it's not even legal. And the students aren't buying it, by the way. His polls are down. I'm leading in young people by numbers that nobody's ever seen before. And remember, with Trump, no tax on tips. So for all you people, a couple of people that get tips, right? Tips? No tax on tips. That's right. No, I think it's good. You know, you work, and they come out and they harass you. They really harass you. A lot of people have told me that. He's just passed new regulations that make it very, very hard on people that earn tips really for a living. For the most part, they live on tips. I will stop Biden's wasteful spending and rapidly terminate the Green New Scam, which is a total scam. We're spending money like drunken sailors. You know the expression, drunken sailors? They love that expression. I will end the Biden inflation nightmare, and we will end it quickly. And I will repeal crooked Joe Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate, and we will drill, baby, drill. We will drill, baby, drill. Right? Thank you. Energy costs will come down very quickly. In many cases, we'll be cutting your energy costs in half, and we're going to be doing it very fast. I will also stop inflation by stopping the invasion, rapidly reducing housing costs. You know, they're taking over our hotels. Think of it. You have people that come in illegally that don't speak the language. We don't even know the country. These are countries where we have nobody in our country that even understands the language. And they're living in luxury hotels in many cases. And as I said, as our wonderful warriors they're wounded. In many cases, they are literally wounded. They're wounded from what's taken place, from the trauma, but they're wounded. And they're laying in the streets of San Francisco and Los Angeles and New York and Chicago and Oakland and all over the place. And you have other people living in luxury hotels. You tell me, is this country screwed up or what? Is this country... We will cut every unnecessary Biden regulation. You know, I cut regulations more than any president in history. That's how we got all the jobs. And I cut your taxes, the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. And we will make the Trump tax cuts permanent and reduce taxes even more for working families and small businesses. They want to let the Trump tax cuts expire. If you do that, you will pay 4 times the amount of tax that you're paying right now. Somehow, you know, all my life I've watched politicians, and they've always said, I'm going to reduce your taxes. This is the only group I've ever seen, we're going to raise your taxes by 4 times. Oh, let's vote for them. There's something crazy going on. There's something crazy in the water. But, you know, I produce the cleanest water and the cleanest air. That's what I want. I want clean water, clean, crystal clean air. Unlike me, Joe Biden isn't fighting for the working people. He's fighting for all of the corrupt interests that get rich off the suffering of the middle class. And he's fighting for China. And he's fighting for lots of other countries. He puts America last. Crooked Joe backed NAFTA, China's entry into the World Trade Organization, and the horrible Trans-Pacific Partnership. And also the ripoff called the Paris Climate Accord. Sounds so nice. Except we were paying the whole brunt of it. China wasn't paying, Russia wasn't paying, India wasn't paying. We were paying $1 trillion for the Paris Climate Accord. Sounds so nice. I said, when I terminate this deal, I'm going to get killed on this one. I terminated it. Everybody thanked me. It was like, because they all know the people are really smart. They get it. They get it. What we are doing for other countries, and we're destroying ourselves, and we owe $35 trillion. It's not like, gee, we have nothing but cash. He sent our blood and treasure to back regime change in Iraq, regime change in Libya, regime change in Syria, and every other globalist disaster for half a century. It's been going on the same. I took our soldiers out. I'm the only president that didn't start a war. I'm the only president. I finished the war. I finished it. I finished the war with ISIS, the ISIS Caliphate. I finished it. But I didn't start a war. I got our soldiers out of Syria. I read this morning that, it was a shame. We had 5,000 soldiers on the border, Syria and Turkey, right on the border. So you have Syria, Turkey, and in the middle we have 5,000. In between, a 250,000 person army and 150,000. I went to a general. I say, how do our 5,000 soldiers do in that case? You got two warring nations. And they say, not good, sir. I say, I think it's time to get them out, right? I got them out. Then we had 54 soldiers. And I said, this one I don't have to ask a general. Get them the hell out of there. You know what? Essentially, nothing happened. They've had that border for 2,000 years, different names. But they've had that border for 2,000 years. They've been fighting for 2,000 years. Why do we have soldiers here? I took them out. And we didn't have people killed. We had nobody killed. And they still fight over the border a little bit, but not much. It's, they fight for a little while, then they stop. This goes on for thousands of years. No, we are now, we call ourselves, because, I'm conservative. What difference? I'm the party of common sense. We're the party of common sense. It's not a conservative thing. It's not a liberal thing or a Democrat or Republican thing. After years of crooked Joe building up foreign nations under my leadership, we will once again build up our nation, if that's okay. Let's build up our nation. I think it's time, right? Looks like a good soldier there. I will revoke China's most favored nation's trade status. They have a most favored nation. They're favored. I said, why do you have that presidency? Well, we are a developing nation. You got nothing but cash. You're killing us. We paid them $500 billion a year. They built their military because of stupid people. And one thing, somebody said it, you don't even think about it. I read it 2 nights ago. Donald Trump was the one that brought up China and the tremendous threat that China is and the amount of money that China takes out of our country every year. You never heard that until I came along. And, it's one thing to talk about it, but I did talk about it. But I was doing something. We took out hundreds of billions of dollars out of China. Not one president took out 10 cents. In fact, Biden wants to revoke the tariffs, but he can't because it's so much money. He can't do it. He just can't do it. I also will pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. That's if China or any other country makes us pay 100 or 200% tariff or tax, we will make them pay a reciprocal tariff or tax of 100 or 200% right back. We don't do that. We have countries, and it's not only China, it's many countries. We have countries that charge us tremendous taxes and tariffs, and we don't charge them anything. And I was changing that and got a lot of it changed with South Korea, with Japan, made a new deal with Japan. Oh, Japan was really, Prime Minister Abe, he was great. Of Japan. He was assassinated. He was a great friend of mine. He was a great gentleman. He loved his people. He loved his country. I went to him. I said, the trade deal between Japan and the United States is the most unfair thing I think I've ever seen. They sell cars to us. We can't sell cars to them. They sell food to us. We can't sell food to them. And it's that way with the European Union too. And I said to Abe, I love that guy. He was great. He was going to run again. He was getting well, and he was going to run again. Very popular guy. He would have won easily. But I said, we can't do this. He said, I was waiting for you to ask. He said, nobody's ever asked. Nobody from your country has ever asked, He said, I'm shocked it took you so long. And I renegotiated it. I mean, I liked him so much, I could have made probably a tougher deal, but we made a tough deal. I liked him. He was a great guy, and we renegotiated that deal. We renegotiated a lot of deals. One of the best deals I made was with China, but because of COVID, I don't even talk about that deal. China had to buy $50 billion worth of our product, our agricultural product mostly. And you know, it's interesting, during the negotiation, I said, what are we asking for? $15 million, 15. So I thought they meant 50, right? I heard it as 50. So when they came to me, they said, we have the deal done with China, it's $15 million. I said, what do you mean 15? It's 50, you told me. They said, no, it's 15. I said, go back and ask for 50. And we got it. Can you believe it? We got it. I thought they said 50. But the Reciprocal Trade Act is basically a terrible expression, but it's, you know, as accurate as I can make it. You know, I have a man I have a lot of respect for. He said, please, you speak so beautifully. Don't hurt your speech by using foul language. But sometimes foul language is a little bit necessary. More necessary here than on television, I have to say. On television, it doesn't sound good. Although it sounds okay, actually, but it doesn't sound good. Here, you don't make your point. But I don't think this is too bad, because reciprocal trade, that's you screw us, we screw you. And then what happens, you charge us 100%, we charge you. I don't know how else I can say it so briefly, right? That's about as good as we can do.
All right, guys,
There's just
part
no
two.
word that
Part
can
two.
cover that.
Part two.
So,
Part two.
and you know who that was?
Part
Does
two.
anybody know?
Part two.
You know who that was?
Part two. Part two coming up.
Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened. And you'll never hear it from me a second time, because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly playing, and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage, and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily, because I was discussing the great job my administration did on immigration at the southern border. We were very proud of it. Behind me and to the right was a large screen that was displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing. In order to see the chart, I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did, they rushed to the stage. These are great people. at great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side. I felt that. The amazing thing is that prior to the shot, if I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark, and I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. The most incredible aspect of what took place on that terrible evening in the fading sun was actually seen later. In almost all cases, as you probably know, and when even a single bullet is fired, just a single bullet, and we had many bullets that were being fired, crowds run for the exits or stampede, but not in this case. It's very unusual. This massive crowd of tens of thousands of people stood by and didn't move an inch. In fact, many of them bravely, but automatically stood up looking for where the sniper would be. They knew immediately it was a sniper, and then began pointing at him. You can see that if you look at the group behind me. That was just a small group compared to what was in front. Nobody ran, and by not stampeding, many lives were saved. But that isn't the reason that they didn't move. The reason is that they knew I was in very serious trouble. They saw it. They saw me go down. They saw the blood and thought, actually most did, that I was dead. They knew it was a shot to the head. They saw the blood. And there's an interesting statistic. The ears are the bloodiest part. If something happens with the ears, they bleed more than any other part of the body. For whatever reason, the doctors told me that. I said, why is there so much blood? He said, it's the ears. They bleed more. So we learned something, but they just, this beautiful crowd, they didn't want to leave me. They knew I was in trouble. They didn't want to leave me. And you can see that love written all over their faces. Incredible people. They're incredible people. Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were in very dangerous territory. Bullets were flying right over them, missing them by a very small amount of inches. And then it all stopped. Our Secret Service sniper, from a much greater distance and with only one bullet used, took the assassin's life, took him out. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. Thank you. But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God. In watching the reports over the last few days, many people say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead. And there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over. But I could see it. I wanted to do something to let them know I was okay. I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight." Thank you. Once my clenched fist went up, and it was high into the air. You've all seen that. The crowd realized I was okay and roared with pride for our country like no crowd I have ever heard before. Never heard anything like it. For the rest of my life, I will be grateful for the love shown by that giant audience of patriots that stood bravely on that fateful evening in Pennsylvania. Tragically, the shooter claimed the life of one of our fellow Americans, Corey, comparator, unbelievable person, everybody tells me. Unbelievable. And seriously wounded. Two other great warriors, spoke to them today. David Dutch and James Copenhaver, two great people. I also spoke to all three families of these tremendous people. Our love and prayers are with them and always will be. We're never going to forget them. They came for a great rally. They were serious Trumpsters, I want to tell you. They were serious Trumpsters and still are. But Corey, unfortunately, we have to use the past tense. He was incredible. He was a highly respected former fire chief, respected by everybody. Was accompanied by his wife, Helen, incredible woman. I spoke to her today, devastated, and two precious daughters. He lost his life selflessly acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit. What a fine man he was. I want to thank the fire department and the family for sending his helmet, his outfit, and it was just something, and they're going to do something very special when they get it. But we did something which cannot match what happened, not even close. But I am very proud to say that over the past few days, we've raised $6.3 million for the families of David, James, and Corey, including from a friend of mine, just called up, he sent me a check right here, I just got it, $1 million. From Dan Newland, thank you, Dan. And again, when speaking to the family, I told them, I said, well, I'm going to be sending you a lot of money, but it can't compensate. They all said the same thing. You're right, sir. We appreciate so much what you're doing, but nothing can take the place in the case of Corey and the other two. By the way, they were very, very seriously injured, but now they're doing very well. They're going to be okay. They're going to be doing very well. The warriors. So now I ask that we observe a moment of silence in honor of our friend Corey. is no greater love than to lay down one's life for others. This is the spirit that forged America in her darkest hours, and this is the love that will lead America back to the summit of human achievement and greatness. This is what we need. Despite such a heinous attack, we unite this evening more determined than ever. I am more determined than ever, and so are you. So is everybody in this room. Thank you very much.
What if the promise of better work wasn't just something we dreamed about, but something we found? This might be the one. Or better yet,
No way!
something that found us.
I got the interview.
Tonight, an ABC News special report, the attempted assassination of Donald Trump.
Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened, and you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to say. You'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually... And then what happens, you charge us 100%, we charge you. I don't know how else I can say it so briefly, right? That's about as good as we can do. There's just no word that can cover that. So, and you know who that was? Does anybody know? You know who that was that told me? A great man, actually. Franklin Graham, you're right. It was Franklin Graham. He wrote me a beautiful letter, and he said, your speech was so good, and I loved it and everything else, but you don't have to use foul language. And I very rarely do. And it's not really, it's just, you know, like little words, like that word that starts with a B and ends with a T, right? It's just such a descriptive word. I don't know how you replace some of these words. But I think of him when I'm about to do, and usually last speech I said I'm going to behave, and I did. I totally behaved. This one I did use those two words, the same word twice. Biden would say I used 3 words 4 times. You know, remember that? You know, 4 words, and say in the famous words, those 2 words, and then he'd issue 4 words. This guy. This is what we have negotiating. This is what we have negotiating with Putin, with President Xi of China, with Kim Jong-un, who's loaded up with nuclear weapons. This is what we have negotiating. You know, when France came out and wanted to tax our nation, I told them you can't do it, and if you do it, you're going to pay 100% tax on all of your wine and all of your champagne that you send in. And all my people said you couldn't do it, you'll never be able to change it. They're going to tax our companies 25%. And I said, we're going to do it. And I did that, and it was a miracle. They said, Macron, you know Macron, good man. He loves France. He doesn't love us. He loves France, right? And I said, no. You have to pay. We're going to charge you 100% unless that disappears. Everybody told me it couldn't be done. My own people told me it couldn't be done. And I said, no, 100% starting on Monday. This was Friday. And he called me back 5 minutes later. He said that we would be delighted to drop that tax. We would be delighted to drop that 25% tax on your companies.
All right, guys, I got some stuff I got to take care of. We got the lights up to 115. So later on, what I'm going to do, I have a lot of stuff that y'all guys haven't seen yet. And so we probably going to run the next live for about maybe 4 hours straight. So if you got anything to take care of, if you planning on joining my broadcast later on, make sure you get all that out the way. And like I said, man, you know, a lot of people have a lot of things, bad things to say about Donald Trump, man. But one thing I can say is this right here. Miss Athena made a valid point when she was saying, you know, I don't care about the man's personal life. The only thing that I care about is the fact that when Trump was in office, America was in a better situation, right? So what we're going to have to do, man, is make sure by all means necessary that we vote Trump for president. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out and vote, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, it's crunch time. You know what I'm saying? We at the end. You know what I'm saying? November the 5th, what we in July, August, September, October, roughly 4 months, give or take. The election gonna be here. So we need to go ahead and get out and start doing what we need to do. Make sure all your family members, your close family members, your friends, your associates, or whatever the case may be, make sure everybody is getting out and voting for Donald Trump. We got to get Trump back in office. And for the ones that felt like that was a stage, that wasn't a stage, that was real. It may look like it was plotted or put together, but it was real. The man really took a gunshot, a bullet to the ear, and almost lost his life, man, standing up for our country, bro. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make America great again. That's why y'all need to go on the website, on the internet. I think I pinned some products here to my live. The new Donald Trump hats, man. Make America great. The hats cost like $7. I think that's the highest hat. The cheapest hat is like $4 and something. And the money is being raised and it's going in towards Donald Trump's campaign. I do not reap the benefits from that, but I felt like I needed to tag the products on my live video because it seems like every time I go live and I put up a poll, damn near 90% of the people saying Trump for president. So that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, spend your $7. I just bought 8 hats, bro. And I'm going to be, matter of fact, I'm going to show you what else I just bought. My campaign is real. I'm real with it. You know what I'm saying? So I got my Donald Trump hats on the way. So what I'm going to do, I got some shirts being printed up with Donald Trump Make America Great Again on it. So when I get out next week and start campaigning, I'm going from state to state. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to stay locally. I'm going from state to state. I'm going to have my Donald Trump mask on. I'm going to have my Make America Look Great Again hat on. And I'm going to have my Donald Trump shirt on. And I'm going to have flyers. And I'm going to be distributing and passing these flyers out to the people, man, because enough is enough. You heard what Trump just said? The little girl that was murdered and raped by that illegal immigrant, she wasn't but 12 years old. 12. She was 12 years old. You feel what I'm saying? And not only that, we've had like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 casualties since then. And this is all because of Joe Biden reopening up our border, allowing these illegal immigrants to come in here and do whatever they feel like they want to do. Is that what American peoples want? We don't stand for that. America do not stand for that. We never stood for that, and we ain't going to stand for it now. So we're going to get Trump back in office so he can make America great again. It's no coincidence that Donald Trump is still living. It's the reason why Donald Trump didn't die. You know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of people that was hoping that that bullet would have took him out, but God wasn't ready for him to go yet. You feel what I'm saying? So what we got to do now is show our appreciation and our gratitude. We just can't talk that talk and not walk that walk. You say you for Trump, let's support him. Let's support him by all means necessary. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is, man. Like I said, man, I feel sorry for the firefighter that lost his life at the Trump rally the day that he got shot. And I feel sorry for the other civilians that lost their lives. Because that should have never happened, bro. That should have never happened. Boy, it's a big buzzard out here. And he got to get it. He got to get it. Hold up. So, yeah, all I'm saying is this right here, man. All I'm saying is this right here. I've sat back. I've done my homework. I've studied this whole process. Ever since 4 years ago when Trump was removed out of office, I sat there and I studied this thing, right? And I said to myself, I say now, How can people literally sit here and say that Joe Biden is best for our country when you had 4 long years, not 1 year, not 2 years, not 3 years, but you had 4 long years to get it together. And you haven't done anything. You haven't produced anything. Appreciate the super chat. You hadn't done anything. So what we're gonna do now? What can we do? What do we need to do? We need to make sure that when the vote come around, we get out and vote Trump, and we got to get all Democrats out of office. We don't need anybody that was associated with the Biden administration to remain in office. Because I'm going to tell you why it's going to be a conflict of interest. Donald Trump ain't going to be able to navigate and move it like he wants to, because every time he come up with something, you're going to have somebody that try to overthrow whatever he tried to implement. Just like everything he had intact before he left office. The border was shut down, wasn't nobody coming over, wasn't no drugs coming in. It wasn't none of that. But when Biden got in office, he took the initiative to say, you know what? I'm going to change all of that. I don't like the way he got this thing going. I want it to go my way. I'm the president now. So let me flex my power. Let me step in office and do what I want to do. And as a result, everything that he put in place, it backfired. Because if the border would have stayed, remained closed like it was, that little 12-year-old girl, she would have never got killed. The mother of 5 that was out jogging, she would have never got killed. And the other 5 that was murdered would have never got killed. So who is responsible for it? Is it Trump or is it Biden? You can't blame it on Trump because Trump went in the office. Not only that, Biden did not even take the initiative to go to the funeral of the little girl. Trump showed up. Trump showed up to show his support. But Joe Biden didn't even take the initiative to go out there and tell the family, how sorry he was, so on and so forth, etc. He didn't do any of that. You feel me? So my thing is, why are the people still streaming Joe Biden's name? Why are we still talking about a debation? What are we debating about? What he created, his actions, that's what we talking about. We can't be talking about nothing else, man. We can't. It's virtually impossible for us to have a discussion about. As a matter of fact, our president right now, the same one that implemented the mandated mask when COVID was really COVID, got COVID now, but walking around with no mask on. But you say this is mandated that everybody wear a mask for such and such reasons. But you sick with COVID now, and you getting on planes saluting soldiers with no mask on. So what are we talking about? Can somebody explain what are we talking about? I don't get it. I don't understand it, man. It's crazy. But it's going to take a miracle. Listen at me and listen at me good. It's going to take a miracle for this world to get back like it was again. And the only way it's going to get back like it was at one point, Donald Trump got to come back in office. We have to ensure, the American people have to ensure that Donald Trump is re-elected for another term. Joe gotta go. Trump, you gotta come back. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? A lot of people say, well, you know what? These people get out there, they campaign, they want people to vote for them, they want people to do this, they want people to do that, but when they get in office, they don't live up to expectations, so on and so forth, etc. If you pay attention to Donald Trump, you can actually see the sincereness within that man's heart. That man loves America. He loves the people. The man almost lost his life. It was unexpected, but for him to bounce back and to come back out, not ducking and dodging and hiding, and standing strong and still saluting the soldiers and the people, that's unheard of. People don't do that. You feel me? So think about it. You know that old saying about the Oreo cookie? They say you're black on the outside and you're white on the inside. You white on the outside but black on the inside. I'm showing y'all that color don't matter. Color don't matter, bro. It don't matter. We not talking about color. We not voting for color. You see what I'm saying? When Obama was in office, he made history, right? But guess what? If I got to be honest with you guys, he didn't even do the things that he said he was going to do. The Obama phones, come on, man. People can't survive off a cell phone, bro. It's bigger than a cell phone. But at the same time, y'all will sit here and say, man, fuck that, man. This and that, the third, so on and so forth. Donald Trump did this. Donald Trump did that. He created COVID. He knew about the COVID. Man, that man didn't know about nothing, bro. Donald Trump didn't know about nothing. He didn't know about anything. Period. The man didn't know about nothing. So what are we talking about? What is the discussion? What is the topic? Who are you going to vote for? Who are you getting out voting for? Who are you going to encourage your peoples to vote for? Is it going to be Donald Trump or is it going to be sleepy Joe Biden? Who? Who are you voting for? In the comments right now. Let me see who you're voting for. Starting right now. Trump, let's go with it. Trump. Everybody want Trump, man. The people need Trump. We need Trump because we know what Trump going to do, man. Trump going to come in and he told you, before I even take office, everything that's going on with our soldiers that's still over there trapped in them other countries, I'm going to have them up out of there before I even get sworn in office in January. Y'all think Trump just talking, don't you? Huh? Y'all think he just talking, but he ain't. Trump about that business. He done already told you. See, Putin don't play with Trump. Putin ain't going to play with Trump, man, because he know Trump ain't going for it. Trump is not going for any of that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But when you got somebody like Joe Biden, right? You know what I'm saying? With no muscle game, you know what I'm saying? It's easy for them peoples to manipulate him out of billions and billions and billions of American dollars. Now, the question is, do anybody realize or know what Putin is doing with that money? I bet you I can tell you what he's doing with it. He getting everything set up, fast hoping and praying that if Trump don't take office again, he already know it's wartime. And he got enough artillery and weaponry to go to war with the Americans for as long as they want to go. Because all them billions and billions and billions of dollars that Biden been sending over there, they've been using that money, man, to get prepared for the war. But see, y'all think it's a game, though. Y'all think it's a game. Y'all want to sit here just like, okay, yeah, it's this and that. Let me tell y'all something, man. A lot of people say they don't get into politics. I'm going to tell you something right now, man. You better start locking in and you better start tapping in and trying to figure out what's going on around you. Because we finna go to war. If Trump do not win this election, I hate to say it, but as a country, we are doomed. Right now, don't nobody respect America. Don't nobody even want to even work with us, do business. Because we have a president that came into office and tried to rewrite laws and policies and had no knowledge or idea as to what he was doing. He thought he was doing a good thing by opening up the border to give these illegal immigrants the opportunity to come over here and experience or see what it feels like to live the American dream. But see, they had other plans. They had other ulterior motives and hidden agendas. And one of them was that 12-year-old girl that they raped and murdered. That's what they want to come over here for. They want to come over here and destroy our country. You know what I'm saying? They want to come over here and bring these illegal drugs in here and get all this American money and send it back to their family. So when they do their dirt, when they go back home, guess what? They live in luxury. They live in lavish lifestyles off of our American currency, off of our money. But see, you have a president that's incompetent like Joe Biden that can't see that. He sees it different. It's good that you was a man of God. It's okay with that. But God also blessed us with intelligence, bro, to be able to see things for what they are versus what they appear to be. So we have somebody like him that never been in a position as such. When you're dealing with people that's power struck, man, there is no limitations as to what they would do, you know what I'm saying, to remain in dominance. And that's what it's all about now. It's about dominance. It's about controlling a country. It's about controlling a mass of people. It's about having people to articulate and maneuver the way that you want them to move. You want to have the self-satisfaction to say, you know what? I have control over an entire country. And so that's Joe Biden's mindset, his mentality and mind state. He don't care nothing about the people. Donald Trump done already exposed him. We have a president that relied on black peoples to vote for him, which I was one of them. I'm going to honestly admit and openly admit because I've been a Democrat all my life. But as of right now, I'm Republican, baby. I'm Republican all day, every day, because the Democrats have displayed that they don't have the ability nor the credibility to lead a nation, to lead a mass of people in the right directions. Everything is a struggle, the economy and all, bro. We going through hell and back right now. You know what I'm saying? And we fast hoping and praying that God put the right person in position to restore this beautiful country. And I truly, honestly believe that Donald Trump is the only one at this moment in time that can do that. Not RFK, not Robert Kennedy Jr. He's no different from Joe Biden. They can't even complete a sentence. So tell me, somebody of that magnitude, right, and position, what are they gonna do? They just gonna make the situation even worse, bro. We're struggling, man. Gas prices are ridiculous right now. Food prices are ridiculous right now. And those are some of the issues that Donald Trump was attacking and wants to attack when he get back in office, to make sure that kitchen table is straight, man. You know what I'm saying? To make sure our kids are safe, to make sure that border is shut down. We got to get these peoples out of our country. Send them back home. You had the opportunity to come over here and experience what it's like to live the American dream or the American lifestyle. You came over here and fumbled the ball. And unfortunately, you have some great Hispanics and peoples over here from different countries. But true to the matter is, when you have one bad apple, it spoils the whole bunch. And unfortunately, everybody have to suffer as a result. I'm just a messenger. I'm just keeping it a beam. I'm keeping it a buck with you. You see what I'm saying? I can't sugarcoat it. You know what I'm saying? I got to be real with myself in order to be real with y'all, and vice versa. So y'all tell me, based on what we have experienced for the last 4 years, right, since Joe Biden has been in office, you tell me what you have seen him do. Not only that, tell me what you feel like he's capable of doing if he get another 4 years. He made a statement, and it went something like, I need another term because I'm not finished yet. I want to finish what I started. What did you start? Chaos, confusion, war, pain, suffering, agony. That's all you caused, man. That's all you created. How you think that family feel right now, that mother and that father, after losing their 12-year-old daughter, you know what I'm saying, but to a legal immigrant? How do y'all think that girl was, what she was going through at that time when she was being raped before she was murdered? Think about that, man. Put yourself in that situation. Ask yourself, do I want to take a chance to vote for somebody that allowed that to happen? Because true to the matter is, your child could be the next one easily to become victimized as a result of such. So we got to make the right choice, man. We got to make the right decisions. I know a lot of people don't like Donald Trump. A lot of people say he's cocky, conceited, and flamboyant. I get it. I understand that. But right now, we're not focusing on what we feel about a person. What we need to lock in with is what we think about a person. And I truly do believe and think that Donald Trump is the answer to restore America. That MAGA is not here for nothing, man. Go online. I'm going to encourage all my viewers, go online and order your MAGA Donald Trump hats today. They only $5, $7. Go order your hat, and every time you leave out of your home, when you out in public, have your hat on. Let people see that you are proud to sport that hat on your head. Because all you are doing is just creating something good, man. People's get to wondering why every time I look around, I see somebody with one of these mega hats on. Why are they wearing these mega hats? It's not a coincidence. They wearing these hats for a reason, man. Make America great again. And that's what we have to do. So with that being said, man, I'm getting ready to check out. But y'all already know what time it is. We got a 4-hour live video coming up shortly. Are y'all locked in with me? Are y'all locked in with me? Are y'all going to tap in with me for this 4-hour long live broadcast? And I'm going to pin some Donald Trump merch to the live so y'all can order like crazy, so y'all can spend them little $4 and them little $5 and them little $6 and them little $7. That's what we going to do. So if y'all ready, y'all already know what time it is. Let me check out a couple of these comments before I... Okay. Annabella Rose, I already know you locked in. I already know my mods locked in. Let's see. Put the personality to the side and look at his policies versus Biden policies. Hank Gibbs, You are absolutely right, sir. You are absolutely right. I like that. I really do like that. Man, you know what? I want you to I definitely want you to check back in on my next live video, man. I like that comment that I would pin it, but I have my mod pin right now. You know, I got to show my mods love, Athena Hall, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, donate to the channel. And I'm gonna share something with y'all, right? I'm gonna share something with y'all before I get out. One thing's for sure and two things for certain. Y'all think people make a whole lot of money off of YouTube when you monetize. Y'all really think that, don't you? Now, some creators do make a whole lot of money. But as y'all can see, man, I'm a small YouTube creator, man. I'm just working, man, and I'm just, you know what I'm saying, bringing the type of content that I feel like the people might want to see. But what I will say is this right here. Every time I go live, man, my super chat is always open. Number two, it's okay to donate to the channel, man. It helps the channel to grow, man. It gives me an opportunity to purchase these videos where I can have them edited, take out the commercials and the music that I'm not licensed to use or whatever, so I can just allow the content to just play out. You see what I'm saying? Because y'all got to understand, you can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? You get hit with copyright strikes for doing stuff like that, man. So a lot of times when I'm playing my live and y'all see me pause the live or whatever, I'm trying to prevent myself from being copyrighted, man. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, y'all got to donate, bro. Somebody sent me a $9.99 super chat, and I definitely appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, I have my members only. It's open. It's been open for like, what, 3 days now. I have content up. So that's content over there that you're not going to see on YouTube, that I'm not going to post on YouTube. I'm talking about when I go to these celebrity car and bike shows, when I'm dealing with these celebrities, whether they musicians, basketball, football players and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's stuff that goes over to my only members, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's only $3.99. $3.99. Like some of these other creators want you to pay $30 and $40 a month to see perks and stuff. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not with that because I understand it's a struggle. So I make everything for as what my platform convenient for the people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I got products tagged to this live right now. The Donald Trump mega hats. Like I said, the highest one is $7. The cheapest one is $3 and some change, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it convenient for the people, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to beat nobody or try to rip nobody off and nothing like that, but y'all got to understand it takes a whole lot of time and energy, and I take a lot away in my day and away from my family, you know what I'm saying, to come on live, to share y'all the content that I share y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, definitely, you know what I'm saying, you have other creators out there like me, you know what I'm saying, that needs that extra support, because these bigger platforms are not going to share people like me. But I'm going to tell you why, because I speak too positive. See, they ain't going to share positivity. Now, if I was on my live talking about King Von rode on somebody or somebody over here got shot and I see stuff like that, they going to share that all day. That's the mindset of the people, man. You know what I'm saying? They think stupidly like that. But my platform is not based on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to educate the peoples. I want to awaken the peoples. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's deaf, dumb, and blind. You know what I'm saying? Trapped in the triple stages of darkness. You know what I'm saying? Bro, it's so embarrassed. He's a trouble. Oh, man. You just don't watch his ad, watch your vids. I start to block you, but I'm not going to do that. But what I would do is encourage you to go back and watch all my live videos, 2,000 and some videos. This is the first time I ever wore a mask on my live. I don't hide my face for nothing from nobody. You feel me? So what you need to do, I'm going to spare you. I'm going to spare you. But if I go on my computer and go through my subscribers and see that you didn't subscribe, I'm going to go ahead and kick you up out of the room. You'll never be a part of no more of my live videos. I'm going to do it like that. All right? So anyway, with that being said, guys, I'm about to get off this live. I will be back on here shortly with a 4-hour-long live video. I appreciate the poll. The poll is like ridiculous right now. We're at almost 2,000 votes, man. So definitely that. And I know this video probably done hit. I probably done reached my goal, man, over 10,000 viewers or whatever. So definitely appreciate it for that. But just stay tuned and stay locked in, man. And I will post a notification in my community. If you subscribe to the channel, now is the perfect time for you to turn on all post notification bells, because like when you turn your post notification bells on, it notifies you every time I go live or anytime. You know, I have a lot of great YouTube short videos, because I know I have a lot of new peoples in here that's not subscribed to the channel, and I'm encouraging you guys to do so. But I have a lot of content that's posted, man. Longer form videos. I posted one yesterday. This Joe Biden, Barack Obama conversation is kind of like on the comedy hilarious side. So definitely go over there and check that out, man. Let's get these numbers up, man. Let's get these numbers up. We got to work together, man. You know what I'm saying? The channel is just growing every single freaking day, man. It just seems like, you know, every day I'm hitting another milestone. And that just comes from hard work. And that just, you know, staying consistent, tapping in with the people, and obviously giving the peoples what they want. And right now, this is what peoples want. You know what I'm saying? People want the right person in office that's going to make America great again. And that's Donald J. Trump. You know what I'm saying? USA all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if it's somebody from a whole different country or whatever, you know, but you ultimately you have people in other countries voting for Donald Trump as well. You know what I'm saying? Because they realize that Joe Biden just can't get the job done. There is nothing that I've seen Joe Biden done to convince me to say, yeah, we need Joe Biden back. Man, we don't need no Joe Biden back, man. That's just the bottom line. So yeah, guys, go over there and check out my only members. I do have like 6 videos, good videos behind the scenes, man. I'm talking about, man, guys, y'all definitely will love that content, man. And I'm gonna be posting over there pretty frequently. You know, probably 3-4 times a week or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I know if people's gonna be spending they $3.99 to become a member, then I definitely got to keep content up over there or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But there are different like stages, you know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, again, I appreciate the 1,848 votes. I definitely appreciate the 162 likes. I definitely appreciate that $9.99 super chat. And I definitely appreciate probably 13,000 people that just viewed this broadcast. So with that being said, stay tuned, stay locked in, 4-hour